to say, oh yeah, real estate is the biggest asset there is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, thinking about it, you buy a house, and sure, you have a good job, you can afford the house, like everything, like you're in it clear and, title's clear, everything, you buy the house, but every month, you're paying property taxes, you're paying principal, interest, taxes, and insurance every month. Mm-hmm. So unless you're renting out that property or you're doing something with it, it's a liability as much as it is an asset.
Yes.
It's only really an asset if it's being rented out or if you're flipping it or if you're selling it, on the verge of selling it. But until you do that, it's not providing you money, it's not assetting you money, it's
away.
Yeah, every month.
Yeah.
So it's sort of tricky.
He's a contrarian realtor.
I know.
No, I totally agree, by the way. I completely agree. It's funny because I feel like every realtor would be, even if, I don't know, if they thought that, they'd be like, no, buy real estate, it's the biggest asset. So that
works for me.
Yeah, no. So that's awesome. Like sorry.
Well, it's true.
It is true.
You pay your mortgage, you pay your insurance, you pay your interest, you pay your taxes. There are HOA dues. Even after you pay your mortgage, you're paying taxes.
Yeah.
So my thought on that is, if you have a stable job and you know you're going to be living in an area for at least 3 years, then great. Buy the house, especially with your first, because as an FHA loans are designed for lower credit scores, first-time home buyers, you can afford more house for less money. It's sort of a no-brainer. But you're still paying money every month on that house. So if you get like an inheritance, right, and you don't have a steady job, but you have a big sum of money, maybe buying a house just normally isn't the best move. If you plan on renting it out, if you plan on refurbishing it and selling it, then sure, talk to your realtor. But I would recommend buying a business or buying something that's an asset that provides cash flow, like a store that sells stickers on the internet. Anything that provides monthly cash flow to be able to afford or at least offset some of your mortgage, so that when you go into it, you're not like bleeding out every month. That's what I would recommend.
Okay. See, that's fascinating that you say that, because I 1000% agree.
That's a belief.
But, no, it's just funny because most realtors, I think, would stick with real estate. And to be honest, I don't think, I usually tell people real estate's fine too, just because I think there's a difference between like a business owner versus someone who can buy a house and then try to sell it and get the profits and then maybe try to get another house or flip or whatever.
I got you.
But I 1000% agree. And it was funny because I was telling my friends, I was like, I think business is a much better asset than real estate. And they're like, why? And I was like, because the way I see it, a business you can have for like even 10 years. Let's say you have a business for 10 years. It doesn't get cash flow. This is being, what's a good way to put it?
Hypothetical?
It's hypothetical, but this is being very idealistic too. Let's say you get into a business and you're like Jeff Bezos, and for 10 years or so, no one knows who you are, you're not really cash flowing that well, you're doing okay, but not like excellent or super crazy. Year 10, you can go from like, whatever, let's say $3,000 a month to like $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000, whatever. Mm-hmm. I feel like real estate, like you were saying, if you buy it, it's not cash flowing, so you're losing money. And even if you try to get into it as like an investor, it can be difficult. It can become like a job if you don't really know exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. You pay a higher rate as an investor. You have to pay a bigger down payment as an investor. Like, that's not, discredit real estate, because historically it is the number one way that people have been able to raise through the socioeconomic classes in the United States. That's just a fact. Number one way to gain wealth historically in America is by buying and holding property. Mm. But we're in a tough spot right now in America where we've seen housing prices increase year over year drastically because of the pandemic, and rates are no longer artificially depressed to help home buyers. So if you need to buy, it is a good time to buy, because not a lot of people are really buying. So I usually work with listings. So I've seen sellers, and I see sellers sweating, dropping prices, offering concessions, doing whatever it takes to sell their house.